Hey guys, in this lesson I'm going to do the skull part. So let's extrude some edge here. So I'm going to extrude this top edge till here, till this edge. So I'm going to extrude and do the skull. So before I extrude, just look at the model from front view. So let's turn off this X-ray option. I think this is the one. Yeah. Now if you can see this shape here, this shape should be like this shape should be rounded. So let's move this to vertex like this, because if you extrude like that, it will give you a like a dent in the mid of the head skull there. So it should be rounded, because the skull profile would be like this, okay, like this. So then I'm going to extrude this edge till this edge. Okay, then I'm going to extrude it. So extrude till this end part. So I'm going to extrude in some steps, you can say. So here one step, but when I'm extruding, I also have to rotate a little bit like this. And let's turn off this so that you can see it easily. So here you can see, if you don't rotate it, the angle of the edge is like this. It should be like till here, this edge should be straight, vertical, like this. So that's why I'm like, with every stage or every extrude, I'm going to rotate that. So like this, then I rotate a little bit again. So it's like this face loop should be like rounded here like this, the direction of that face loop. And obviously you can move a vertex to like get the shape right, or to appraise the position. Let's say this. So here it's almost straight. Then let's extrude again and move. So I'm using move tool to move. So rotate. Okay, something like this. Okay, so you can see it, I'm like extruding and there's a big gap here. I can always add an edge loop later, so you don't have to extrude like with very little distance or like that. You can just block it with 3 or 4 extrude, then we can add in betweens there. Okay, so again I'm going to rotate it a little bit. Okay, and then extrude again. So here I have hold shift and right mouse to get this menu, then extrude edge. Okay, once you have selected edge, hold shift and right mouse to get this menu. Then I'm going to extrude it like this, and here it's gonna rotate more like this. Always check your model in perspective view to like get the idea of the shape there. So at this area, at this point here, it should be like scaled down a little bit to get that the skull round shape here. Okay, and then I'm going to extrude it again, and this time I'm going to use it from the menu. So I'm trying to show you different ways to use the same tool, from menu, from self, from marking menu. So rotate it and let's position it here. I think this edge should be rotated a little bit more like this. Okay, so yeah, here I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to merge these 3 vertex, these 3 corner. Okay, so let's go to edit mesh and merge to center like this. So why I did this? To get this loop, this face loop. If you see now, it's going like this, and it's this area is like, it looks like extruded and offsetted. Okay, so it's not necessary, but I think it's better to have, because the skull is rounded here. The skull, you can see the skull. Okay, so now I have a round loop for that, so I can create that shape easily. So that's why I just merge those. Now I'm going to add some edge loop, okay, in between edge loop. So I'm going to take the mesh tools insert edge loop option with the insert with edge flow option turned on. Okay, make sure it's on so that when we add an edge loop, it's gonna average the shape. You don't have to do that shape manually. So you can see this is the beauty of that option. If that's off, it's just gonna add the edge without changing the shape. So make sure that's on. Okay, now I have added some edge loops here, and you can see we have a decent skull here, but overall it looks, the edge wise, the edge distribution wise, it's messy because you can see there's a big gap here compared to this gap here. So what I can do, I'm going to just average those, and I'm going to try to make those like evenly spaced. So I can do that by just selecting an edge loop. Let's say I want to like slide this edge to here. So just select the edge loop, go to mesh tools and take the slide edge option. Once you have selected that, hold your middle mouse button, then drag. When you drag, it's gonna slide to the left and right. You can see it's being slided. Yeah. So I am in that tool right now. So I'm just like double clicking to select the edge loop and then middle mouse drag. So I don't have to bring that tool again and again. Once you have selected that tool, you can see that from here. You just need to select an edge loop and slide it. Now to do the manual even spacing thing. Yeah, so I think now let's press 3 to check it. I think it's fine for a base mesh here. So yeah, that's it for this lesson. In the next lesson, we are going to start doing the ear model.